Hey, I'm Kevin, and this is HFX by Bike, a channel all about getting around Halifax by bike. In today's video, I'll be making a trip from Quingate Place in West End Halifax to Station 6 in Spryfield. I've made similar trips on the channel before, but this footage is actually from last summer when most of the easier ways to get there were closed due to fire risk. So for this run, I'll be heading through the notorious Armdale Roundabout and showing the pros and cons of that approach. As always, I'll be playing a game of +1 -2 along the way. Every time I run into something that makes my trip safer or more convenient, I'll add a point, and every time I run into something that makes it less safe or less convenient, I'll take 2 away. You can keep track of how I think the ride is going by looking at the heads-up display in the bottom right-hand corner. I'm starting out near my place on Quingate in West End Halifax. I'm filming this on a quiet Sunday morning, so traffic is much lighter than typical for this stretch of road. Immediately, I'm going to take a right onto Quinpool Road. This is a major road without any bike infrastructure. During the work week, Quinpool is going to be bumper to bumper for most of the day. You can generally skirt past traffic at reduced speeds if you're on a bike, but I mostly just avoid it if possible under those circumstances. Your mileage may vary. I'm on approach to the Armdale Roundabout, and I'm just going to pause here for a moment. Off to the right is the entryway to a parking lot. If you feel okay biking down Quinpool, but you draw the line at the Armdale Roundabout, fair enough. It's one of the highest collision stretches of road in the city. There's not really such a thing as a fender bender on a bike, so this is a genuinely intimidating place for a lot of people to bike through. And I basically don't. Including this video, I've biked through it twice. Instead, if I've gone down Quinpool, I'll generally bike into the parking lot, dismount, and walk my bike up the sidewalk to the left to connect to Armshore Drive. If you ever see someone biking on the sidewalk near Armdale, they're probably doing the same thing. People don't even really like driving through the Armdale Roundabout, and the giant doom circle isn't any more fun to go through when you're not surrounded by a ton of metal. Back to it. When you're going through a roundabout on a bike, it's useful to put yourself center lane of whichever lane you're in to discourage people from thinking they can squeeze their car in there with you. They can't fit, and it will end poorly. I'm exiting to Herring Cove Road. There are reversing lanes here that change direction based on the time of day. As I go through, it's set up to 2 lanes inbound and 1 lane outbound, meaning that it's illegal to enter the lane to my left to pass. That was an interesting driving choice. Surely that won't happen again. I'm going to take the left to connect up to Purcell's Cove Road. These are the Purcell's Cove Road painted bike lanes. I'm going to use them as a substitute for making the rest of the trip on Herring Cove Road itself. I was on a major road without any bike infrastructure for about 3 kilometers, so here are the bonus points. The lanes go on for a while, but there aren't really any streets that connect to where I want to go, so I'm going to take the right onto Collindale. This area is low traffic, and it's going to make for an easier trip to go this way. It's a little narrow, but I can use this path to cut through to where I'm going. I'm back on Herring Cove Road, and my destination is just around the corner. There isn't any bike parking within about a 10-minute walk of here, so I'm going to ditch my bike downstairs at the gym that I frequent. This is a me-specific perk, you can't do this. My trip from Quingate Place in West End Halifax to Station 6 in Spryfield took about 17 minutes, which is comparable to how long the same trip would take by car during peak hours. It's a little more than half of how long it would take by bus. The major comparison for me is how much faster taking this route is than my usual, much more circuitous one. I normally go out of my way to avoid the Armdale Roundabout and Herring Cove Road because honestly I think they suck to interact with on a bike. But it's undeniable that the more direct route saves a lot of time, roughly cutting the trip time in half. This kind of trip isn't going to be accessible by most people. The Armdale Roundabout is a source of anxiety for a non-trivial number of people driving through it in a car, and it doesn't get any better if you're on a bike. I mostly avoid this route when I'm heading to the area, and even when I take it, I dismount to skip the roundabout and Herring Cove Road. A lot of cyclists just ride on the sidewalk in the area for safety reasons, and honestly, I don't blame them. Also, this part of Spryfield is a bit of a desert for bike parking, but that's probably a rant for another video. That's it for this one. Let me know what kinds of trips around the city that you'd like to see covered or local businesses that I should visit by going to the video request map linked in the description below. If you like this kind of thing, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more videos all about getting around Halifax by bike and urbanism more generally. As always, thanks for watching and see you next time.